How many wins for your Buffalo Bills in the 2025 NFL season? I'm going to tell you in just a second. But first, if you want the Bills to win the Super Bowl, to hoist a Lombardi in the 7-1-6, show me. Go down below and hit that thumbs up icon. Don't jinx it and show me it's the Bills' year. What's going on, Bills Mafia? One of my favorite videos to do on the channel, and that is the final Bills 2025 record prediction. Look, this has been one of the better teams in the NFL over the past few years, but hey, they have not gotten over the hump yet. So let's leave no doubt for the 2025 NFL season and go win the whole damn thing. No stone left unturned. Look, what it says out west about the Buffalo Bills before we get into the schedule. To win the Super Bowl, the Bills have 7-1 odds, plus 700 here. To win the AFC, about 3-1 odds, plus 340 to win the conference. To win the AFC East, they are favored by a mile, minus 325. You have to wager $325 just to win 100 on the Bills winning the AFC East. And their win total is projected at 11.5. And to be honest with you guys, that might be a little bit disrespectful. The Bills have won the AFC East for 5 straight seasons. And I'll tell you this. I'm tired of division titles. I shouldn't say I'm tired of division titles. I'm tired of celebrating division titles. I want to be celebrating Super Bowl appearances and Super Bowl victories. And I think the NFL schedule makers made it pretty solid for the Bills to have a chance at doing so. The NFL kind of blessed the Bills with this upcoming schedule. Think about some of the teams they have to play. They're playing a first-place schedule. They're playing some solid divisions. They have to play the Chiefs. They have to play the Ravens. They have to play the Bengals. They have to play the Eagles. They have to play the Bucks. Oh, yeah, all of those games are at home in Highmark, where they are 15-2 over the last 2 seasons. I ain't doubting the Bills at home, especially in the final season at Highmark Stadium. Let's call it the Ralph for this last 17-game stretch. 11.5 wins for the Bills this upcoming season. O for over, U for under. Let me know. Make your pick down in the comment section. You can't take it back, so once you comment, that's it for this upcoming year. The 2025 record prediction starts with a win. No better way to kick off the Ralph's final year than to go on Sunday Night Football and get a big-time win over Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. People are talking that Lamar got absolutely robbed for MVP this past year. I mean, Josh already shut him up in the playoffs. But let's just do it one more time to open the season in Highmark. I'm hyped. They're going to win on Sunday night. I feel good about it. And then in week 2, I feel good about that one as well. The New York Jets are an absolute dumpster fire this upcoming season. Aaron Glenn's trying to be a hard-o to the media. He's trying to act like all mean and tough and culture changer. Guess what? You don't have to do all that to be a culture changer, Aaron. I'll just let you know that right now. What you do need is a guy not named Justin Fields playing quarterback for you. That team's abysmal. Their offensive line stinks. They got no run game. Their receivers outside of Garrett Wilson stink. This team's really, really bad, and I think they'd be lucky to win 5 games this upcoming year. On the week 3 against the Dolphins, I'll call that a win as well. Look, the Dolphins played the Bills very tough at the start of the season, but this Dolphins team, this iteration of the Dolphins team is not my favorite, man. Mike McDaniel is kind of on the ropes here. He's as one of the hotter seats in the NFL, I could argue, and I don't think it's going to be a great season for the Dolphins here, and the Bills are rolling off 2-0. I'll make it 3-0, and then I'll make it 4-0 because who is losing to the Saints this season? They may not win a football game. That's one of the worst quarterback rooms I've ever seen, and I watched every New York Giants game last year. Spencer Rattler, Tyler Shuck, what the shuck? That is terrible. Honestly, like if the Bills lose this game, then it is the trap of all traps, and I'll come back. I'll apologize to all the people of New Orleans and Trace Gerard, but there's no chance the Bills will lose in Week 4 to the Saints. Week 5 to the Patriots, no chance they lose that one either. Rocking the rivalry jerseys, rocking the cold fronts. Oh my goodness, those are going to look so icy out there on the field. The Patriots ones don't look as nice either, and that's a high-stakes game and some high-stakes jerseys as well. I think they're going to win that one, start the season 5-0. And then they lose. The Atlanta Falcons at the Falcons, riding high off the Patriots game where you're wearing the rivalry jerseys. You're 5-0. You're looking ahead. Oh, yeah, 1 week from now, we got a week off. We're going on vacation for a week. And then you lose sight of what's important, and you lose to the Falcons here, giving the Bills their first loss of the year at 5-1. Then you take that loss and you think about it, and you let that thing simmer for about a week, and then you go absolutely put belt to ass against the Carolina Panthers because they are pretty abysmal. Another team that's probably going to end up under 500 this upcoming season. I like what they're building in Carolina at this point, but They are nowhere near the stature of the Bills. So I'll see the Buffalo starting the season 7-1. And we'll go through the following 10 games in just a moment. But first, get hooked up with our proud sponsor of the program, and that is Prize Picks. Prize Picks is America's #1 daily fantasy sports platform because it's daily fantasy made easy. You can win up to 2,000 times your money this season just sitting down and watching your Buffalo Bills. What's better than that? Prize Picks has everything. They got basketball, they got football, they got baseball. Playoffs are around the corner. They got college football as well, and you can mix and match all the sports. Prize Picks makes it easier for you guys to win real money in real time with awesome deals, like a free $50 for new users in their accounts instantly when you play your first $5 lineup, but you got to use our promo code. You see it in the bottom right of your screen, CLNS. That promo code will give you $50 instantly when you place your first $5 entry. And here is my entry for week 1 of the football season. I got James Cook more than half a receiving or rushing touchdown, and Josh Allen more than 31.5 yards on the ground against Baltimore. You could tell my picks are fade 'em. Just make sure you definitely use that Dak Prescott free square, more than half a passing yard against Philly on Prize Picks. Download the Prize Picks app today. Use the promo code CLNS for $50 instantly when you place your first $5 lineup. You don't have to win that lineup to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks, run your game. All that information will be clickable on the comment section and description of today's video. 17 owns, 15 in the regular season. I mean, I cannot say the same about the playoffs, but the Bills have had the Chiefs' number in the regular season over the past few, ever dating back to, I believe, 2020 was the last time that Buffalo has lost to Kansas City, or it was 2021. About 2021 was the last time that Buffalo lost to Kansas City in the regular season. They ended up losing the playoffs that year as well, and they've lost every matchup to them in the playoffs. But they're going to get a win in Week 9 over Patty, and that's going to be huge when it comes down to who's going to be that #1 overall seed in the AFC. Let's go sweep the Dolphins, man. They stink. Mike McDaniel might get fired by this week. He might even be out of a job by Week 10. Nah, I'm just kidding a little bit there, but the Dolphins aren't good. This will be late in the season by then. I know we'll be traveling down to Miami, but is Tua going to be playing football in Week 10? Is Tyreek Hill going to be playing football in Week 10? Is Jalen Waddle? Is Devon Achane? Are all the Miami Dolphins going to be healthy 10 weeks in the NFL season? I would hold my horses on that, and that's why I'd expect a Buffalo Bills victory. And then in Week 11, you actually play a dog. You play a real football team in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm going to give them a loss on this one. It's at home. I know I said I wouldn't fade the Bills at home this upcoming season in the Ralph's final year, but I think it would be disingenuous to say that they go completely run the table at home. So I'll give them a loss here to one of the higher-powered offenses in the league, both on the ground and through the air. Baker Mayfield can light it up, and they have Bucky Irving here who could bust a 60-yard touchdown at any point. So I got the Bucs getting a little bit of revenge on the Bills from a couple seasons ago. They hand them a loss here in Week 11. But the Bills will get a little bit of revenge of their own the following week at the Texans, where they lost last season by 3 points, heartbreaking fashion, and they get their revenge here on Houston. I will say, though, the Texans, they're a little bit improved, especially on the defensive end. If the Bills can get to C.J. Stroud, that's a weak offensive line in Houston right now. I think they can take control of that game and win it comfortably. The Steelers, they are horrible. They're legit bad. I'm not going to lie to you. Aaron Rodgers is a shell of himself. I thought he was good, and then I really looked deep into it, and he was real bad last year. And there's a reason that teams passed, the Jets passed on Aaron Rodgers and keeping him in town in favor of Justin Fields. And that says a lot at this point. I think the Steelers' defense is a little bit overrated as well, and their offensive line stinks. So we'll see Aaron Rodgers on the ground a couple of times in that game, courtesy of Greg Rousseau, Joey Bosa, and company. Now, like I said earlier, man, they play all these Titans at home. I'm giving a win over the Bengals, man. Like, that is another revenge game. Who took them out in the playoffs 2 years ago after the cops were outside Josh's house in Orchard Park? Bengals. They look, go get the win. The Bengals defense is atrocious. It's genuinely horrific. But I could see something like the Bucs game kind of happening. This is definitely going to be a shootout. Don't expect this one to be a field position battle. I know it's Week 14. There could be snow on the ground, and that could favor Buffalo. So give me the win here over Cincinnati. Week 15, the Patriots. I'm sorry. Do I have them going undefeated against the division? Yeah, probably. Is that real? Is that unrealistic? Yeah, probably. But the Patriots stink. And, like, the Week 15 rolls around. They already have one of the worst offensive lines in the entire NFL. Who's to say that it's going to be, like, better, like a lot better by Week 15? I think that's not going to be any problem for Buffalo here. The Patriots offense, if Drake May is not, like, Justin Herbert or better, like, this team is going to be in a rough spot this upcoming year. They do have a very, very easy schedule outside of when they play Buffalo twice, so maybe they could be knocking on the door of the playoffs and riding a high at this point, but this is the roster disparity here. Give me Buffalo by a mile. I mean, my goodness. I talked about the Saints before. The Browns might be even worse. I don't know if that's true. But the Browns are really, really bad. They have Myles Garrett. That props them up a little bit. It raises the floor. But can you tell me the next best player on the Cleveland Browns? No, you can't. So the Browns are going to get absolutely demolished by Buffalo here in Week 16. My biggest question maybe this entire schedule, who will be the quarterback of the Cleveland Browns in Week 16 against Buffalo? Will it be Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel? I'm going to keep Flacco out there for a full 17 days. Is that even possible at this point? The guy's like 50. I don't know who's going to be playing quarterback for Cleveland in Week 16, but I know the Buffalo Bills are going to get the victory either way. Week 17 against the Eagles, I wanted to put this as a loss, but I couldn't do it, baby. They're going to go on a heater to end the season against Philly in Week 17. Another massive revenge game on the schedule from last season, and this one's at home. I already gave them a loss at home earlier in the season, so I'm not giving them two because they've only lost twice in Highmark over the last 2 seasons. And then the season concludes, Week 18 against the Jets. And the Bills, at this point, they're 14-2. That's probably the number 1 seed in the AFC already, right? They can rest their starters. But hold the phone. It's the final game in Ralph Wilson Stadium, Highmark Stadium, Bill Stadium, New Era Field, whatever you want to call it. They're getting a win in Week 18, and they're finishing the season 15-2. Number 1 seed in the AFC. Finally, they can have the upper hand. They can wait for whoever ends up in the final 4 teams in the AFC, and they can be 2 wins away from making the Super Bowl. 15-2 is my record prediction, but I will say, in all seriousness, record predictions are silly. Who knows what any of these teams are going to look like by the time the season rolls around, and by the time Week 14 rolls around, who knows? The Patriots and the Browns, they could be fighting for the playoffs. You never know. The Jets could be fighting for the playoffs. If you look at the past couple of years, teams that are plus 300 or more to make the playoffs, 2 or more have made them. So those are 3 teams that are at the bottom of the barrel last season, but who knows? Anything can change in the NFL year. So record predictions are silly, but I'm going to go with the Bills, go 15-2, and get that number 1 seed in the AFC. That's my record prediction. The floor for the Bills, I would say, is 11-6. I can't see this team being 10-7. That would just be insanity. They do play a tough schedule, but a lot of it is in front of the home fans in the 7-1-6. And the ceiling? 17-0, baby. 17-0 Buffalo Bills. Wouldn't that be something? That will do it for today's edition of the Bills Breakdown. We can talk about it more as it gets leading up to Week 1 against Baltimore on Twitter at Tyler J. Smith. 2 H's because the name's common, but I am not. And make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That will do it for today's edition of the program. YouTube.com/Bills News will be keeping you guys tapped in with everything you need to know before the game kicks off on Sunday. See you guys in the next one. And as always, let's go, Buffalo.